Business aesthetics. This is a term that I have coined. Aesthetics is the study of beauty. It's a subject of art or arts and philosophy. So I'm trying to combine these two ideas of business and beauty of business now, or the study of beauty about around in and around business. When I say beauty, I don't mean that you should be in the business of producing cosmetics or lipsticks. That's not what I mean here. I mean the concept of a business being beautiful. Business doesn't have to be only about numbers. I made money and then more money and then more money and then more money and adding zeros and more zeros. It's just numbers. That's not beautiful. That's mechanical, that's boring. Maybe some people find it beautiful, but I don't find it beautiful. Numbers are not beautiful. Just making money and just putting more and more zeros after that figure, whatever it is not beautiful. So, business should be beautiful. Uh, why? Because you'll have fun doing it, others will have fun watching it, you will have a story to tell, others will be telling stories about you, you know, it will be entertaining. And so, why not have joy, thrill, something interesting, something impressive, that people talk about and you can talk about, and your story is interesting and impressive. So it's about style, maybe the way you do business, a certain style of doing business. It may be about quality, overall quality, or creating fantastic, beautiful products. It can be about goodwill and prestige and reputation, and it can be about color, being colorful. It can be like a fragrance or flavor of doing business. It's a different style, a different way of doing things. So these are the concepts I associate with business: beauty, style, joy of having done something good, satisfaction and achievement of having doing something beautiful and interesting, respect that you have for yourself and others have for yourself because you did something beautiful. I mean, beautiful, majestic, dignified, classy, whatever you want to call it, thrilling for you, joyful for you, gives you fame. So these are the ideas I associate with aesthetics of business. When you do business in a beautiful manner, it's about not about making money, but how you made that money. So the means part is also important. And I think this should be explored more, because otherwise it's pretty boring. And eventually people who make money and are in the business of making more and more money would also get tired someday or jaded, and they'll say, what next? Maslow's hierarchy of needs sort of a thing. So that's what aesthetics or beauty of business is all about. I remember when in the heydays of liberalization, privatization, globalization in the early 90s, prior to that, I was a socialistic kind of guy. And then we had this opening up of the Indian economy in the early 90s. And I also somebody recommended that I read books by Ayn Rand. And I read Ayn Rand's novels, The Fountainhead, Atlas Shrugged, We the People, Anthem, most of them novels, one non-fiction. And kind of it turned me into a capitalist. I mean, Ayn Rand was a powerful writer, powerful novelist, and she is completely different from talking about theory of selfishness or whatnot. So something radically different to what one generally encounters in a Gandhian society. So it was extremely different, extremely powerful, extremely interesting, very, impact, with a huge impact. And I am sure that socialists who read Ayn Rand would have, would want to, would be drawn towards capitalism, because she talked about capitalism in a beautiful way. Her heroes were captains of industry and fantastic heroes with terrific talent and towering personalities. A guy whose face was like a law of nature, and she talked about creation of wealth. And and when I wrote or read about it, it seemed like wealth was an objective thing outside of oneself, not personal money, but creation of something outside of oneself, something object with its own objective existence, which was beautiful and good. It was creation of something beautiful and good and great. So that made me, money per se was not an attractive thing for me, but this idea of creation of wealth, which seemed like something good and beautiful and fantastic, attracted me a lot. Now, of course, I have gone through the whole process and now back to being not so capitalistic kind of a guy, more of a socialistic, left of center kind of a person. But it is a beautiful idea, the way she portrays it. And the way I see wealth, maybe she didn't see it that way, because for her the concept was different. But when I see the way she talks about wealth, it's not about personal wealth, I mean making money for yourself. And I think that is a big ambition dampener for most businessmen, because for them wealth is personal money. I made so much money, oh abhi, what next? Enough money for my kids and their kids, and what is the need to do more? A lot of money, didn't have much, now have lots of money, and my generations would live in comfort and all that. So then why do more? Why work more? Why do anything else? So their concept of wealth is very narrow, very personal kind of a thing. If they could kind of think of wealth in a broader concept, something that they are creating for society, then there is no end to it, and the motivation to do more would increase. Then they would want to create more and more wealth. It's not about creating money for oneself. It's about creating value for society. This wealth generation helps when you produce more good quality products and all your customers are benefited. So you create more and more value for your customers. Good quality products help your customers. You have more and more employees, so you are improving their lives. It's an economic powerhouse, so to speak. A wealth creation machine is a powerhouse of the economy, your contribution to the economy, to the society's well-being. You have your suppliers, so you are making money, they are making money, so they also do well. You have your dealers and distributors, they also do well. So you are spreading it all around. You are making money and everybody is making money, and the society is getting enriched in a way. And then if you make too much money and you are not going to spend it, then donate it, philanthropy. Why not do that? That also will give you a lot of name and fame. So shouldn't think of personal wealth. Many businesses, middle class businesses, get trapped in this personal wealth thing, and they can't think of creating wealth for society. I mean, of course, it's not completely being selfless. When you create wealth for society, it gives you name and fame. You have a sense of satisfaction, achievement, you'll be remembered, and you create more. Some percentage is yours, the rest of it is distributed, and that also gives you satisfaction in one way or the other. That is also giving you other kinds of returns, name, fame, or whatever you want to call it. So why not think of wealth in a broader sense? So then one could become more ambitious, and just chasing money for oneself and then saying, what is the point now? I've had enough money, didn't have enough money earlier, now I am too rich, my generations would do well, so that's it, now let's take it easy. But if you think of wealth, something useful for society, bigger and greater than yourself, then you would find more motivation to keep on doing it and creating something everlasting, creating and something creating some an organization, a wealth creation machine that will outlast you, that will be your legacy, and that would give you a strong motivation to continue and build something everlasting, big, impressive, which outlasts you and sticks around for generations, and people talk about it, and you set examples and people write about you even after you're long dead and gone, and everybody benefits. So that's a big thing, that's a beautiful thing to do. So let's think about it. I hope somebody explores this idea a bit further. Thank you.